Okay, everyone, in Slickness and in Health here with another video from another post of Reddit. And this one is actually a pretty nice post, a pretty to the point post, I should say. But without further ado, let's go and see what it's all about today. If someone ghosts you, it's not because they're intimidated by you or they don't have time for a personal life. They're simply not interested. They're simply not interested. Read this. Don't let your ego get in the way of seeing reality for what it is. A very nice message. This fella, or I don't know, lady or whatever, says this very, very well. And somebody had to do it at last. So let's read a little bit more. Sometimes when we get rejected, we try to rationalize or come up with excuses why the other person suddenly removed themselves from their lives, from our lives. This is normal. We don't want to believe that someone simply doesn't want us to be part of their life. It's particularly difficult when things are seemingly going well and the contact suddenly drops. And this happens a lot, guys, doesn't it? We will often come up with scenarios that are meant to protect our ego but are removed from reality. Exactly like that. We always offer, to ourselves and to others, we offer justification and excuses actually of why this happens. And at the end of the day, we say that this has nothing to do with you. You're fine, and it's not this. Most probably, there's like they ghost you for something else for another reason and stuff like that. And first of all, let me actually clear this out by saying what ghosting is to anyone that doesn't really know you. Ghosting is when you talk with someone, usually after having done, something, and they suddenly stop talking to you and they disappear. They act like a ghost, actually. So usually they will block you from social media, they will stop talking to you, they will disappear whatsoever. So this is what ghosting is. Okay, and let's keep on reading. It's never a good idea to get emotionally attached to someone you just met or a friend that you've never been in a relationship with. Placing romantic hopes prematurely on someone can lead to unhealthy emotional attachment and actually finding someone that wants to be with you. Exactly like that. I couldn't have said this better myself. Usually, ghosting happens when you don't really have a deep relationship or a deep relation whatsoever with someone. You just usually know them. You've just been into one or two dates. You've just probably, done other stuff. But at the end of the day, you don't really know this person, these people. Okay, so what we usually do, what we many times do because of many reasons, is that we choose to invest on these people. And especially men do that. Men do this as well. It's an act of desperation. It has to do with low self-esteem, obviously, many times, not always. But in any case, what we usually do, and I've seen that many times, is that we just do something with a person and we just invest in them. And when you invest in someone, it's the time when you start, you know, thinking about the future, cutting them slack on many things, actually rationalizing things, and like usually, not seeing bad stuff that they've done to you, and you just like ignore some points, some red flags and stuff like that. And this is not a good idea. But usually the common denominator is that you start to want to, seeing this person more seriously and maybe making plans in your head and stuff like that. But in order to do that, we have to understand that certain criteria must be met, and these criteria can't be met so easily. It needs time. Without being said, actually, that, you know, even if you know people for many years, if you know a person for many years, they can always change. So guys and girls, but mostly since in this channel we're talking to guys, don't invest so much, okay, in other people so early on, because ghosting is a very common phenomenon, especially among women. I mean that women do that as well. Anyway, let's continue reading here. If someone is into you, they will typically make it easier for you to see them. If they limit or remove communication, it typically means that they have lost interest. They aren't distracting themselves because they're afraid of being hurt, or that you're such an amazing person that they don't want to ultimately lose you. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, it's not like that. These type of thoughts are defense mechanisms for our feelings and ego. Experiencing rejection is never easy, but ignoring reality will possibly prevent you from focusing on meeting those who usually want to be with you and make you a priority. If you rationalize your rejection, it will allow you to hold on to false hope and wait for that person to reach out again. Exactly. Even if they do you want to be with someone who disregards your feelings to such an extent? Your self-respect and time are far more important than engaging with someone who doesn't value you. And having said that, we have to understand that we are the ones that define our value, and consequently, we are the ones that define our value on the eyes of the rest of the people. So what that means is that if you value your time and you show that, and if you value your personality and your ideas, then all the rest will value you. So obviously, valuing yourself in general means that you don't really want to spend some time, and you don't really want to do anything with a person that doesn't really value you. And this is universal. This is not, again, I hope and I think that most men will identify with this channel, and mostly men, but this is something universal. It goes both ways, and it's the same for men and women as well. So only and only if you value yourself, only then will others value you. And all in all, I have to say that this post is a very, very nice post. It's very useful, and everyone should read Reddit for posts like these. Okay, and if not, then it's really good that you guys follow my channel and watch these videos so that you can be informed about all that, because actually it is as it is. Now, moving on to men and manly issues, I've said many times, and this is my my usual, philosophy on that one of the main characteristics of men is accountability. Okay, so that means that you should be held accountable for your actions and reactions, and that you should be the one that sees the truth and accepts it. If you want to do something, if you want to change something, you have to see the truth and you have to accept the truth. Okay, and you have to have the balls actually to accept things as they are. So if someone ghosts you, don't try to rationalize things. Don't try to say that, you know what, they're gonna be busy, they will come back at me, and all this and that. And at the same time, you shouldn't go the other way and say to yourself, oh my God, they ghost me. What have I even done to them? I'm like completely useless. No one loves me and no one wants to love me and stuff like that. You have to be a rock, okay? And you have to be not influenced or affected by these kinds of behaviors, okay? So have this in mind, and I can actually explain this to you. If you get ghosted, it is more than obvious that the person that ghosts you isn't interested in you. It is not interested in you. But this necessarily doesn't mean that this has something to do with you, depending on the circumstances. But let me tell you, okay, I'm not giving you, lame excuses and stuff like that. I'm saying things as it is. And being men even though women should do that as well, if you ask me. Being men, you have to accept this truth. You have to accept this fact that they don't like you. They're not interested in you. That's a fact. However, if for some reason you have to analyze this a little bit more, it could be probable, and usually it is probable, and I'll explain to you why, that it doesn't really have to do with you being necessarily a bad person or being, useless or not having value or I don't know what. Why is that? Because usually when they ghost you, they don't really know you. They're in their own situation, they're in their own, I don't know, like state of mind, and they most probably don't know you and don't know the situation. Usually, like women, especially when they are like, if you go into a date with a woman and you have fun, it could be really probable. It has happened to me. It has happened to everyone, I think, that has been on dates. It could be really probable that they will ghost you later on. You can even go out on dates and have a lot of fun and feel that they're like really successful. They can even be successful leading to the bedroom and stuff like that, and you can be very easily ghosted afterwards. What does that mean? Does that mean something? Does that mean yet that you suck at something? You could, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you suck in general or something like that. Because if I come to you and I tell you that you suck at this will be valid only after I have evaluated you on every aspect of yourself. So how can something like that happen? It's not that easy. It will definitely not happen when you just go out on a date or two with someone and they ghost you. They don't really know you. That is true. So most probably they've taken a decision based on something that they have seen, based on something that they have thought. And actually at the end of the day, and especially when it comes to men versus women, you don't really care. You don't really care what a person like that was thinking and why a person like that ghosted you. They ghosted you, so it's more than obvious that you shouldn't spend any time with this person, and for that reason it's actually good that they ghosted you. But it doesn't necessarily mean that, like you as a whole, as a man, as a character, like as a whole person, you suck, you're bad at something or something like that. Maybe you're bad at some things. Okay, if you feel that you're bad at some things, take your time and get better. We can always get better. Okay, especially if we do it consistently and systematically and with a good plan. Okay, this is why people like me are here to help you, and we will see how we will do that on episodes later on. Okay, in any case, you can feel free to contact me and write on the comments down below. I will definitely read it and reply to you. Okay, people, so again, having said that, we have to be able to understand that when someone ghosts us, okay, it means that they're not interested in us. It is more than obvious, okay, but their criteria for why they're not interested and all that may vary in general. Okay, so we shouldn't just take this and bring this back on ourselves, saying that we, letting it let us down, bring us down. Okay, don't let other people that are not important to you, especially, bring you down in your life. Okay, you have to remind that you are men, even though women should do that as well. You are a rock, and you cannot be changed by other people just like that. You can always be changed after correct evaluation, thorough evaluation, and usually evaluations that you do yourself, objectively, though. Okay, many thanks for being with me, guys. See you tomorrow on the next one. Take care, everyone. Bill out in Slick and Health. Bye-bye.